Should you upgrade to Wirecast Pro 6? I asked myself that question a few weeks ago, and I downloaded the trial version and I experimented with it. What I like about Wirecast is you can have a multi-camera setup. In Wirecast Pro 5, I'm able to use a 3-camera setup using devices from Blackmagic Design. But with Wirecast 6, you can do something a little bit more. You can actually bring in video from your iPad. So this is a very cool feature that you can use. All you have to do is plug in all of your cameras. In this case, I'm plugging in a USB 3.0, 2 Thunderbolt mini recorders, and make sure you plug in the power. Always have the power plugged in because these devices take a lot of electricity. You're going to plug in, and once you have everything plugged in, you can go ahead and open up Wirecast 6. When Wirecast opens, it offers you to run a tutorial. I recommend doing that the first time so that you understand how to use Wirecast. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and maximize my screen. I can add in my different camera shots. And the cool thing about Wirecast 6 is now they have an app built for the iPad. Now, as long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network, you can download the Wirecast Cam app for your iPad or iPhone. You need to have the iOS 8.0 or higher in order for this app to work. So you go ahead and open up that app. When you first open it, it'll ask you if you have permission to use the microphone or the camera. Allow that so that you can then stream directly to Wirecast. And so now you can see I have my iPad camera that is also showing you. This is the shot from my iPad. You can change the settings in here to see the resolution as well as the bit rate to have it depending on how strong your Wi-Fi network is. So now I can have my wired cameras and my wireless iPad camera. So there is a bit of a lag when you use the iPad versus using a plugged-in direct camera, a wired camera. But the cool thing is this allows you to have a wireless camera, very accessible. Recently I videotaped a high school basketball game, and I taped an iPad underneath the basketball hoop on each side of the court, and then I had a camera in the center court to get a wide shot of the action. And I was able to move the camera in the center and then switch as there was a drive, or if there was a possession change, I was able to switch to the camera right underneath the basketball hoop wirelessly, and I was able to get a much better shot. Now, for amateur events such as high school sports, it's a perfect way to get different shots. The best part was the setup was 5 minutes. I was able to set up the cameras, the iPads, in 5 minutes, tape them to a wall, make sure that they were connecting to the Wi-Fi, and then come in and using Wirecast, I was able to connect to the iPads and have a 3-camera shoot with one operator. It wasn't professional video, but it did well for showing an event using multiple angles when there was only one person working the event. If you are going to use iPads, there's a couple of things that you can do. First of all, there's mini mounts that you can use that you can actually mount your iPad directly to a tripod. So I use these occasionally. The other thing I recommend is getting a good durable case. A good case will protect your iPad better than nothing. In fact, I like a good case much better than simply an insurance or an Apple Care program. With a good case, you can drop it and your camera's going to be fine. So I recommend getting a nice, strong, sturdy case for your iPads. If you do use an iPad and broadcast over Wi-Fi, I've noticed that if you pan or move the iPad, the Wi-Fi signal gets lost quickly. If you mount the iPad in a steady location and don't move it, it still has some issues occasionally, but I've noticed that the Wi-Fi stream is much clearer and much more constant. Though it's not perfect, it's a great solution.